Hand-over-hand assistance and lightbox positioning when working with visually impaired student. When using something like a computer or a lightbox, or any materials on a table or desk in front of the student, it's often best if the adult sits next to or slightly behind the student. Try to avoid visual clutter. Sometimes this means putting some black foam board or other type of solid surface behind the computer or lightbox or whatever the student is viewing. This helps to eliminate any distractions. For some students, hand-over-hand assistance is needed. Take a look at these examples. In the first example, the adult works from behind, placing their hands over the student's hand. This allows the adult to help the student explore materials. In the bottom, on the middle, sometimes a student only needs slight support to guide their hand to touch materials. In the third picture, you'll see how the adult is positioned next to, slightly behind the student, and guiding his hands to complete the materials. Here is another example of an adult assisting a child with a light box. Notice how the adult is behind the student and assisting to manipulate the materials. For some activities, the adult will sit next to the student or in front of the student. Be sure your clothes are not too distracting. Solid colors are best. This type of positioning is helpful if you want to watch the student's eyes to get a better idea of what the student is looking at. Here are some examples of students using a light box. The light box can be positioned in different angles. It may depend on what activity you are doing as far as what angle would work best. These students are reaching to touch materials, some with guided assistance. So an angle not totally upright, but slightly leaning is helpful. In some cases, a light box may be totally upright. This could be on a student's tray, a desk, a table, or in this case, the student is laying on the floor and the light box is adjacent to him. A light box can also be positioned flat on a surface, such as a student's chair tray or a desk or table. This allows the student to manipulate the materials on top of the light box. And this is a good point here to discuss why even use a light box. Well, in this case, it helps to attract the student's visual attention. Sometimes additional assistance is needed to focus the student's attention on a specific area of the light box. As you notice in the top left-hand picture, the area around the cubes is black. This helps to focus the attention to the material that the student is to look at. The picture in the bottom shows how construction paper was used to make a frame to get the student to focus on a specific area. In the top right, the picture shows not only the light box in use, but a flashlight being used from behind the student to shine on the image. In this case, it's a spinner, to direct visual attention.